What is going on, everyone? We are live for the Gaming with Geeks podcast. Now, this has been a crazy week because it's just been nothing but video game news.
Nothing
in there. Like nothing else could potentially distract from all of the gaming content that is going on. So much so that we went like a week without uploading on the main channel, but that's all right. That's all right. We're joined.
Hey, I appreciate the nation not breaking any news to interrupt Gaming with Geeks. Like I talked to everybody. I said, we're going live for at least 200 to 300 people. Can you guys not drop any major news? And they didn't. So it really makes me happy.
That's true. There was no one that feels like they need to control the narrative, that the narrative's slipping out of their hands. So they need to make an announcement. There was no one in the media that did that this morning. So, but we are joined, as always, by our normal group of guests. Mark the Cyborg. How are you, Mark?
Hello there, everybody. I'm doing quite well. Played some good games this week. Didn't really follow any of the other news. Just was sitting back eating some popcorn, as a true Canadian should at times like these.
There you go. Well, I mean, yeah, your country's completely fucked. So, I mean, that makes sense that you just sit back and enjoy everyone else's misery. Lethal, how are you doing?
Just chilling out with Mark, eating the popcorn.
And Jeremy's been lazy as fuck. He's like, he had to make a video explaining why he never uploads to this channel anymore because he's just been doing nothing. I remember people were asking, D-Day Cobra, where do I go to for you to talk politics? We got asked that question last night.
Yeah. I've been doing nothing. The revenue on his Geeks and Gamers channel is plummeting. Social Blade told me it was plummeting. Geeks plus Gamers is dead. And that's fine if that's how stupid you are to believe that. But the reality is Geeks and Gamers has never been better. The last 2 months are record months for Geeks and Gamers because it doesn't like this main channel is important. It clearly is. And we will continue to do things on this main channel, but we have a lot of moving parts now. So it's been a hell of a few months and definitely a busy few weeks.
That's right. It has been indeed. It has been indeed. And we see so many people in the chat already. I've got so many fucking tabs open. It's not even funny. I wish it was a joke at this point, but it's really not. But thank you all for being here today. We appreciate you guys. We do have some stuff to talk about. We might as well start off with a huge announcement right before this stream that has nothing to do with the President of the United States and has everything to do with Mass Effect. Mass Effect Trilogy is being remastered. It's coming out in spring of 2021. We got that official announcement finally after months of speculation and rumors. Finally on N7 Day, November 7th, they came out and confirmed Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster is coming in 2021. Mark, are you a big Mass Effect guy? What are your thoughts about this?
The original trilogy, yeah. I hated Andromeda. I played a few hours of it and was just like, this game is absolutely garbage, and then just totally gave up on it. But I really liked the first. The first one, I think, is in a lot of ways kind of the best. It's sort of the one that's the most RPG-like. But Mass Effect 2, I think, was an incredible, like, cinematic sort of mix action role-playing game. And 3 I actually kind of liked more than most people did, but I think that the first 3 are definitely worth playing. So if you've never played them before, I think checking out these remasters is probably a pretty safe bet.
Well, first of all, Andromeda, did it not have good frame rate?
Well, it did kind of run like garbage, but it almost wasn't because of the frame rate. It's because the animation was just like totally borked in a lot of ways. The main character looked like they literally had a stick jammed up their ass as they were running, and the facial animation was.
Mark didn't get the joke.
That is a question, Jeremy. Did I not like the frame rate? Like saying the game ran like shit is.
You were like, I didn't like this game. I'm like, so automatically, I'm like, bad frame rate.
Mark subverted our expectations. He actually cared. He cared about the fact that the person was moving like a Canadian. He didn't understand. He didn't understand why it would look like that. The way he looked.
I hobble around with a robot leg, so I can't exactly get up and be like, "This is what a normal Canadian walks like." But we don't walk like the Mass Effect Andromeda people.
I know. I know Andrew, who's part of Geeks and Gamers, is a huge Mass Effect fan. I was just actually talking to him on the phone. I personally, so I own the trilogy and I've never played it, and the reason is I know it, like, it's one of those games that takes so much time. It's not something simple to pick up and play, and of course I was never in the heyday of Mass Effect. I never was into this, but people kept telling me about them, so I went and bought the trilogy, and it's just I never invested the time into it, but I've heard nothing but good things except for the end of 3. There was so much controversy with the end of 3 surrounding that. And people have told me the details of that. But ultimately, I think this is pretty cool that they'll be remastered. So, for sure.
It's definitely a game that you're not just like playing. It's not like you're just going to turn on Titanfall like Jeremy probably does sometimes and just fucking play it. It's very story based and very intricate in its storytelling. I think it's going to be interesting to see. Well, first, I guess let's get Lethal's opinion. What do you think about this, Lethal? Did you play them? Or
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. Mass Effect's right up my alley, man. Mass Effect's the bee's knees. I didn't play Andromeda.
Me neither.
Nah, just had bad vibes.
Bad frame rate,
man.
Yeah.
Right from the get go, I was like, that ain't 60, man. You know, what I mean?
Pretty much anytime we criticize a game, it's going to be specifically for frame rate. Like, Super Mario World, bad frame rate, fuck that game.
But I'm also kind of with Mark. I feel, look, 3's ending is god awful, terrible. But I do feel that 3 is a tad overhated. I like Mass Effect 3 right up to the ending.
Yeah.
I'd say Mass Effect 2 is probably the best one, though.
I think another thing about 3's ending, though, that people often ignore is that a lot of the arcs of the series are ending throughout the body of 3. Like, not necessarily at the very end of the game. Like, there's things that happen in the middle, like the war between the Geth and the Quarians, that is wrapped up sort of like 2/3 of the way through 3. And that's like a pretty conclusive ending to a very big story arc. But like, people are like, oh, this stuff never amounted to anything. It's like, no, it did. It just didn't happen right at the end of the game. It happened a little bit earlier in the last chapter. So,
well, the problem is, Mass Effect 3's ending is, what's your favorite color? Basically,
the choice. Yeah, they removed the choice, which was such a major part of the.
That's the thing.
That's
the thing is the fact that choice is inherently important in Mass Effect. It's what made it so cool. The fact that you were told in Mass Effect 2 that your fucking choices would affect how you played in Mass Effect 3 when you carried over your saves. So like your choices in the game are super important, and then the way they end the game is to give you no choice. That was one of the big
they gave you 3 choices. They were just the same 3 choices for everybody. So.
But a different
exactly.
color.
Exactly.
But I feel the real question we got to ask is Ashley or Miranda?
Miranda.
Mark?
Miranda for sure.
Mark, she had better frame rate?
No, she's played by the girl.
It was a joke, Mark. He's like, no. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. Here's the reason why.
So, Jeremy, am I just not allowed to? Thank you, X-Ray Girl. Am I just not allowed to disagree for everything until being like, oh, what? Mark is just not a good frame rate. Like, you gotta let me talk, man.
I leaned Miranda as well. Miranda was like,
there you go. Get fucked, Ashley.
Sorry.
I mean, now this, I mean, that just kind of send me, I might reconsider now my Miranda. I might stand Ashley after that comment. But so, and I think Lost, and I see the super chats, guys. We'll get to them in just a second. Thank you guys so much. One of the things that has kind of got lost in this announcement was the confirmation that there's another Mass Effect game in the works.
We don't care. We just want the trilogy.
I know everybody just wants to play the same games again, but there is another one in the works, and I think that after 3's, I would say very divisive reception about the ending, and Andromeda's completely meh reception. There's a lot riding on Mass Effect 5 for it to come out, and I think that if this game is received the same way or worse than Andromeda was, then it's fucking done. I think it's fucking dead. In my opinion. What do you guys think about a potential Mass Effect 5 coming out?
I feel like, I mean, and again, as someone that's not really into these games, I mean, hearing the reception from afar, I mean, Andromeda was fucking hated. Like, that was like Last Jedi level hatred. You know what I mean? Like, people despise that shit. So it feels like they could be on a Halo kind of trajectory at this point. You know, if you have another bad outing, you just run. Like, it feels like that fan base has been dwindled big time based on the ending of 3 and then Andromeda, you know? Because that's actually technically 2 bad scenarios. There's not one, even though the trilogy is so well received, the ending of 3 was very controversial. And then Andromeda just continued that anger and push it to the next level. So I feel like they're in a bad way already.
I just don't really have like. Is it Andromeda 2? Like that's the first thing that pops up to
I'm
mind.
gonna guess no.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna guess no as well, but
They
it's the
might
first thing
actually
that comes
just
to
come
mind.
out and call it Mass Effect 4 just to make people be like,
Yeah.
yeah, don't worry about Andromeda.
That's a
That'd be
good idea.
that'd be pretty funny actually if they did that.
They did that with Sonic the Hedgehog a few years ago. And
Yeah.
I feel like they did that with another game too that's slipping my mind right now. Someone in the chat will know, I'm sure.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm way more excited for the trilogy than the new one.
Now, what do you think they're going to do for Mass Effect, like the original Mass Effect game? Because I don't think that translates very well if they just did a remaster. I feel like it's really, I think it'd be really tough to get a lot of people down to play that game in current gen wise. They had talked about the fact that they were having problems with getting it kind of up to that. Maybe that's why this delay happened. We didn't hear about it until now. Maybe that one is going to be a little more of a retooling than 2 and 3. What do you think, Lethal? You said Matt. You said the first one's your favorite, right?
Nah, second one.
You said second one. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the first one is probably it's going to be a bit dated, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know. This is a wait and see for me. Like, you raise a good point. I don't know how they're going to do that one.
Yeah.
The first one was more of a role-playing game. You had a lot more
Right.
agency and choice in the things you did, the way you approached things, the way you even moved through the game. Whereas 2 was pretty well structured. You had a bit of like, okay, should I go to this planet first or this planet first? But instead of going down and exploring other planets in 2, like ones that weren't related to the story, you kind of just scan them from the air and then mine them for resources remotely. So they trimmed out a lot of the explore the universe stuff that was in the first game. The big thing is I think like the visuals look a lot more rough in Mass Effect 1 than they do in 2 and 3. So that's probably what needs most of an upgrade, and the combat probably needs to get tightened up a bit more too. The only thing is it's a bit weird that there's some lore inconsistencies in between 1 and the other ones, like the way ammo works is a big one. They were actually talking about this on Smugcast the other day, and it kind of reminded me about it, where they had in the first one they had blocks of ammunition where each weapon takes a little bit of the block. Like, so a submachine gun would take a bunch of tiny pieces of this block, a shotgun would take a big chunk, and it's just matter that's accelerated by the mass relay technology. So guns don't really have ammo in the traditional sense. They have like a technology that throws matter really, really fast. But in Mass Effect 2, they're like these heat cartridges. Like, and so I don't know. It might be a bit weird if they try to move
Retcon any of that?
Yeah, retcon things into 1 and start changing just the way it works entirely.
Well, Andrew just messaged me and says BioWare said they're modernizing the trilogy mechanically. So,
this is exactly what they've
Right.
said, that they're not looking to retell anything. This is not a remake. This is simply a modernization. That's what it says. For many months, our team at BioWare has been hard at work updating the textures, shaders, models, effects, and technical features of 3 enormous games. Our goal was not to remake or reimagine the games, just modernize the experience so fans and new players can experience the original work in its best possible form. So like I said, it is not a remake. They're calling it a remaster for sure.
I like that poster.
That one?
Yeah, that's sick.
There you go. I used it in my thumbnail for my video. But either way, Mass Effect fans.
I might have been mixing that up with another game then about the different ammo type, like 1 ammo for all weapons. I could have sworn that's how Mass Effect 1 worked. It's been like 10 years since I played it though, in my defense. So,
Well,
maybe
that's not good enough, Mark.
That's not good.
Man. When did that come out? Was that 2007 or 2008?
2007.
2007?
Same year as Halo 3 and same year as Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 1, I believe.
What? Wait, what, Mark?
Sorry.
2007? We're referencing games that came out in 2007?
Yeah.
Is there a certain game you want to mention?
Apparently not. Like, I don't know. What's the game? It's probably a fucking Mario game. I don't know.
It's okay, Mark. Your you
Is it? I'm not
clearly,
sure.
your credibility is
don't know what you're
gone.
referring
Your
to.
credibility is gone.
It's like
over with.
It's like Super Mario Maker
Okay,
5
does
or
anyone
something.
know what he's talking about? Like, was
Okay,
it Mario
Mark.
Galaxy? Was that it?
Yes, Mark.
You know I haven't played that game.
You
Jared.
are definitely making Watch Mojo videos from here on out.
Oh
Fuck
my
this.
So let's get to the super chats. Her in the steadfast for Canadian $5. Ryan, you were hilarious and absolutely savage last night. Love it. Thank you. Her in the steadfast. That was a good Friday night tight stream. I got a little out of control.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know what the risk is when you invite me on.
You always are out of control.
Well, I'm at the edge. Joshua Trammell for $10. Y'all are awesome. Keep up the great work. Joshua, thank you so much for the super chat and the support, man. We appreciate it. Paulie D for €2. Mark thinks Skynet is misunderstood. Is that true?
No.
All right. You no opinions? Just
Well, I mean, no.
all right.
What's your opinion on that, Ryan?
No, I'm all for Skynet. Fuck all these people.
Skynet knows Super Mario Galaxy came out in 2007.
Well, if they know that, then fuck them.
I mean, like it's a robot sent back in time to kill a woman. It's perfect. I'm all for it.
Paulie D for €5 says, "What game has the best theme song?" MGS3 James Bondek's song was great. I mean,
Its overall soundtrack is that what we're going to talk about? Galaxy.
Game soundtrack. I mean, I would probably go with fucking Knights of the Old Republic, but that's probably mine. The original score for Knights of the Old Republic.
Halo's fantastic.
Halo's good.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is amazing. The soundtrack to that game is amazing. Obviously, you can name any Mario or Zelda games that's memorable, but Halo is fantastic. There's just so I love video game soundtracks, so I typically download like a lot of different soundtracks and put them on a loop. But Galaxy is my pick. Galaxy 1.
If I have to say only one, I'd probably say the Kingdom Hearts franchise, but Halo's right up there.
Yeah, Halo's awesome.
Halo
has a great frame rate too during the mono, like when it's playing the music. It also has great frame rate. So,
Mark, what do you think?
I don't know. I guess I'll go with a curveball answer and say the Dusk soundtrack. I use music for it in a bunch of my videos, and so I really love it. It's great.
What's that new game that's coming out where it's you're like shooting along with the rhythm of the song?
That's already out. BPM,
Yeah.
bullets per minute. I played it and I didn't really like it, so that's why I didn't make a video on it. It's okay to play, but it's very repetitive. And
Mark, you can make listen. You can make videos for shit you don't like.
No,
They might do fucking better.
No, because then I have to invest a whole shitload of time doing something that I don't want to do. I would rather just not fucking play the game and play something else that I enjoy.
All right.
Quit being mean, Mark. And Jedi Bunny's in the chat, Mark. Come on. You're being really mean.
Raise your Canadian.
Jerry, how many frame rate jokes have you fucking made?
Easy.
Hey, settle down. Robots are not supposed to have emotion, okay? I'm gonna treat you like TARS, okay? In Interstellar, I'm gonna dial back the anger level, okay? Can we dial that anger level back to 75%?
I don't know. Maybe we'll think about it.
Blame the controller says almost all my videos on my second channel are about stuff I don't like. Yeah, exactly. They probably do pretty good. Just saying, Mark. All right. Paulie D for €2. Any of you bad biscuits have a console pre-ordered? Only the Soulja Boy one. It never showed up. No, I don't have any consoles pre-ordered. I actually entered. There was a couple like giveaways going on locally, so I entered a couple of those. Maybe I might win a PS5, but we'll see. I don't have anything pre-ordered though. Huh?
You ain't winning shit.
I'll take it. I don't care.
I'm not pre-ordering either one of these consoles right now. I will pick them up at some point, but based on the launch and everything and the delays of the games, there's not a whole lot of reason for me to from a consumer standpoint to purchase either one of these right now.
Well, and
yeah, that's how I feel as well.
we will get into it, and that we may get into it after we finish up these super chats, actually. But PS5, the reviews are pretty fucking stellar for it and the couple games that it's that are going to be its launch titles, for lack of a better term, and it's getting a lot of good reviews from people who love PlayStation. We'll say it that way. So you never know how real those are or not. But let's continue on. Nemesis 86, $5. I feel like Mass Effect 3's extended ending fixed most of the issues, and I do think it's interesting too that after all of the backlash and like the petition for a new ending for Mass Effect 3, that they did come out and like at least give you the extended ending to try to explain it a little bit. At least they threw everybody a bone there. Remaking, I think we can all be honest. Whenever we see these. Whenever you see remake season 8 of Game of Thrones, the reality is it's probably not going to happen, or is there even a potential? But they did come out and give you that extended ending. Do you guys think it went to explain it anymore or helped it? Or
I remember that helping a bit. I don't remember it really changing all that much. I did find out though the ammo I was mixing it up for was the ammo in Deus Ex Invisible War. That's the one where you had universal ammo that little amounts are used for each weapon. It is a similar idea in Mass Effect. It's just ammo is essentially infinite, and it's the overheating that you have to control in the gameplay.
Yeah, I was like listening to you, and I'm like, it's been a long time since I played Mass Effect, but I don't fucking remember that. But that's all right. Mark plays so many games, it all gets jumbled up in his head.
I do my best to sort them out, but sometimes when it's two games that in this case, it was two that I was mixing up, but both of them I hadn't played in like over a decade. I played Mass Effect when it launched. Like,
I saw something funny in the chat. I won't read it though. Where Pauly D, €2. What should the ending of Mass Effect 3 have been? There's a question.
Something good.
What should have been lethal? Just something good.
Yeah. Anything else?
Okay, I'll answer this in a joint effort to combine Mark's answer with Lethal's. Okay, high frame rated titties. There you go.
I love frame rates.
I mean, if you want to make solid VR porn, that's what you need.
There you go.
Otherwise, you get queasy.
Pauly D. Oh, I just read that. Storyman Jack for $5. What's up, Storyman Jack? Mass Effect 4. More suck given to you from EA and BioWare. Yeah, we'll see. They've got a veteran team on it, whatever that means. So, listen, I'm all for getting Drew Karpyshyn back involved with Mass Effect. Get Drew Karpyshyn, the man behind KOTOR, the man behind Mass Effect 1 and 2 stories. Get that man back on Mass Effect. I think that would be a good thing. Ernie Velveeta, I love your cheese, for $5. Look into the data mining for Mass Effect 3. The story was a lot better in November 2011. Among other differences, Javik was part of the main story. Really?
I've heard that it actually went through quite a few rewrites.
That's interesting. I haven't heard any of that at all, or looked into that at least. Thank you, Ernie. I'll have to take a look. Hurin the Steadfast, $5 Canadian. Liara is bae.
Ah, my boy likes some blue tang. Okay.
Mikey Gus, and thank you again, Hurin. We appreciate you guys' support. Mikey Gusler, $5. Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack's phenomenal, from the combat music being tense to the relaxing guitar strings when exploring the world.
Yeah, both Red Dead Redemption games had really good music.
That's true.
There's 3 of them.
Well, you're talking to Call Flores?
No, there's 2 Red Dead Redemption games. There's another game called Red Dead Revolver.
And that's the best one.
Yeah.
The best
one. That one's like, it's only like 6 hours or something, right? It's pretty short.
It's just like it's a straight up
shorter, really.
It's not an open world game.
Yeah, it's just you get thrown in these things with these little pistol fights. It's pretty. I played it. I got it on Steam for free, Mark. I played it on PC.
Oh, that is the thing which happens on PC.
Oh. Pauly D for €5. Thought you'd be more impressed. What do you guys think the biggest changes in modern gaming were? For me, it was online gaming, achievements, trophies, and then DLC.
I mean, are we considering online gaming as a whole to be modern, like a modern change? Because I mean, it's been around for a while. Like, How
Well,
modern, I guess, is the question.
Well, as a Nintendo fan, I can't say that we've actually had online gaming yet. But I'm looking forward to it in the next 10 years, potentially. No, but it's a weird. I don't know. I don't know how to qualify that because the Dreamcast was our real introduction from a console standpoint, and it was revolutionary, but it was ahead of its time. But I mean, I guess the online gaming aspect has fundamentally changed games.
It has. It has changed it because it now became another way to continuously monetize you. That's the biggest thing.
True.
And that's when we look at all of this shit, that's what it all comes down to is the ability to monetize after someone leaves the store.
I personally think
I
think DLC has been one of the worst things for it because it's made a lot of these developers want to release half-assed games and then overpriced DLC to complete the games, and there for a long time it was taking over the industry. I feel like we're now to a point where the industry is moving back off that stuff, but for a while that was a big problem. So, but again, read what he said. Biggest positive or negative, or just in general?
What do you guys think the biggest changes in modern gaming were? For me, it was online, achievements, trophies, then DLC.
Yeah, I'd say DLC was the biggest negative for a lot of reasons.
I mean, that's a double-edged sword, though. There's been just as much positive that the ability to download updates has given to games as negative. In fact, I think I'd argue it's way more positives. Think of all the small problems in games that can get fixed with patches that they can just give to you and not have to sell you a whole new version of the game.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I personally just I like games warts and all, over the course of time. It's like as long as because before the opportunity to patch games, it's like I felt like they would always strive to make the best product possible. Now you can release it and go, okay, it might be buggy as hell, but we'll fix it after. We're like, remember the Halo Master Chief Collection? How it was fucking horrific.
And if that was just what the Halo Master Chief Collection was forever, that would be a bad thing.
No, I understand that, but the point is it enables them to release things early, broken, and shitty.
Yeah.
And I think that hurts a game. Well, what is that game, No Man's Sky, that released so terribly? Now, over the course of time, according to what I've heard, it's improved substantially. But I believe that it hurt. What if that game releases the right way without the patches?
I think that's looking at the real glass half full end of it, because for all of gaming history, broken ass games have been releasing. And now some of them are getting fixed is kind of my point. I don't think it's made it so that people are like, oh, now we don't have to worry about actually polishing up a game before launch, because the people that were shipping broken games before were still there. They would have still been doing it regardless. It's just now they would not be able to fix problems for games that were almost really good that can now get a couple post-launch patches and become great. And then they aren't doing as many things like, for example, you could argue that Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition was DLC. They just added the ability to play as the boss characters. But because that wasn't coded into the original game, they sold you a whole new $80 Super Nintendo cartridge instead of just having it so that you could pay $10 and be able to play as Bison, Vega, and Balrog. And wait, what was the last one? There's 4. Sega.
Balrog.
Yeah,
Gandalf fuck him up.
No, not that
Chun-Li.
Balrog.
You know, Chun-Li.
Chun-Li was always a playable character in Street Fighter 2.
It doesn't matter. It just seems like that you're avoiding mentioning a woman because you don't like women.
I mentioned Vega.
I'm just trying to make your life
Vega's
difficult.
not a woman.
I'm just
he's
making
a
your
very
life
feminine
difficult.
guy.
So.
Speaking of people
wait,
that aren't
going back to that super chat. How come I'd say probably storytelling.
Lack
Yeah.
of?
No,
there's been way
increase
more.
in ability to tell stories in the medium, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Through DLC or just in general? Just having more storage?
Just more story in
Okay.
general. Like, back in the day, you went from Pac-Man going around eating pellets to all of a sudden you got Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Now, if you were to make a Pac-Man game, you could make it an RPG, and you could decide whether he fucks Miss Pac-Man or one of the ghosts or something. So yeah, there's a lot more story to be told. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you wait till the Revenge of the Ghost update.
Or you can have Miss Pac-Man and transition to Mr. Pac-Man, or vice versa. Like the endless opportunities with gaming now. So,
And if you pre-order it now, there's a 5th Ghost.
That's right.
Venom
But only
Snake,
on PlayStation.
Venom Snake for Aussie $2.99. How long till Kamala takes over?
Well, judging
Don't
by
worry,
the sales
brother,
of the
we're
latest
Australia.
Avengers games, it's going to be a while.
At least 2 years, because so that they can get actually 2 terms out of her. That's my guess.
I mean, Trump's running in 2024, so it's gonna be awesome. Look, the other day, I mean, I'm watching everything unfold right here in front of us. I've got my TV on. I'm watching the news. COVID is over. Congratulations. There's no more lockdowns. No more social distancing. So it's over. But this is playing out exactly like I anticipated it, and we'll see. I mean, if you want more specifics on my thoughts on the election, though, you can go over to my personal channel. I uploaded a video right before we went live talking about all this and my theories about it. At the end of the day, don't cry like Amazing Lucas is right now. Don't become the new screaming SJW. But we'll see what happens.
At the end of the day, we still have more. We have several more months of this to deal with before an official decision is made, regardless of whatever the AP or CNN tries to manipulate and tell you. But at the end of the day, don't be the screaming SJW in a fucking thumbnail. That's my recommendation to everybody. Unless it gets flipped, then please do. But anyway, Blue Eyed Scorpio for $1.99. Guitar Hero has the best soundtrack.
I mean, if it did, he probably would be right.
That one doesn't count.
Rock Band with all DLC has the best soundtrack.
Salsa Shark, $5. Jeremy, your cyborg's emotions chip is malfunctioning. Maybe try turning him off and on again. Extra girl. P.S. Ashley, best girl.
Ashley. I don't know. Eileen Miranda.
We got
I went
the
for Ashley in
SJW
Mass Effect
woman
1,
in the
but
chat.
once you hit Mass Effect 2, I think Miranda's the move.
We've got the screaming SJW emote in chat. I didn't even remember we had that on the channel. Adam Wofford, $5. Best thing about all this updates for games is the day the studio or the servers can be taken offline and you can't play the games anymore. He said that's the bad part about all of the updates.
Yeah, I remember playing Halo 3 when they came out and said Halo 2 servers were dying at like midnight that night. That was a bit rough.
Yeah, that's true. Wolfsbane 00499. I agree with Jeremy to a point, but there are great games with great DLC like Witcher 3 and Hollow Knight. The latter being all free DLC.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say that there wasn't. I just think that sometimes it enables broken games more so than it motivates to complete games. It's all about the motivation. So now it's given a buffer. It's given them like a way to, like, if you release a game and there's no opportunity to patch it, then you have to strive to make that game as good as humanly possible. If you have the opportunity to fix it months down the road, then it doesn't motivate you to go, okay, we've got to finish this, and make it the most perfect game ever. At the end of the day, like I said, a game like I remember the hype for No Man's Sky. It was out of control, but shortly after, the game just completely died out. No one gave a shit about it. Now a lot of people tell you how great the game is, but you have absolutely missed your window. What was the other one? Was it Anthem?
Well, Anthem is completely fucked. Yeah,
Anthem's been basically like torn down. But I should clarify. I'm not saying that like all games will eventually be fixed with DLC. I just think that giving, or not necessarily DLC, like downloadable content, including patches and updates in addition to DLC, I think that giving the room to do that, and to fix problems after launch, or even respond to fan feedback and change a game and make it better, has overall net been a good thing for the industry and not a bad thing. Because ultimately, even games that the developers maybe did want to make really good and fix all their problems, especially if it's a publisher game that has like a launch window of needing to come out during Christmas, they might not have been able to push that. They might be like, no, you're launching now no matter what, because our shareholders expect this game to launch, and it is launching one way or the other. So then they have to be like, all right, well, there's always going to be this glitch in this area, and we could have fixed it if we had another month. And in this situation, they could launch it and then still actually fix those problems. And I think that is much more a good thing than it is a bad thing.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do what we did last week on this stream if we didn't have that. So I hear what Mark's saying. What is that? Celluloid Dream for $5. No Mass Effect 3 co-op, no buy. The Xbox 360 community is still alive today.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. That was arguably the Ghost of Tsushima Legends of its day, where it's just like, this is a game that no one was expecting to have good multiplayer, but it was actually pretty solid.
We need to do our fucking raid, boys. Yeah. Commandant VHS. The Commandant agrees with Jeremy. It says DLC sucks, and yes, patches have made developers and publishers lazy. There you go.
I disagree.
Now, speaking of lazy, speaking of fucking disasters, speaking of fucking flops, let's talk about Marvel's Avengers, who will be trying to fix this game for the next year, at least, if there's anyone still playing. Now, we found out that Square Enix reported their numbers, which they're required to report to their shareholders, and there is a massive loss on the heels of Marvel's Avengers, a loss to the tune of around 6.5 billion yen, which, although yen isn't like $1, it's still a fucking lot of money. They estimate around $62 million this game has lost for Square Enix so far. And that would be one thing if you expected sales to continue and these microtransactions to continue for Marvel's Avengers, but the player base has fled. A lot of people have left the game and won't be coming back. And they're not even going to be releasing on next-gen consoles to 2021. They had to delay that because the game's so fucking broken. The DLC has been delayed because the game's so fucking broken. This is bad news right now. It looks like they sold about 3 million copies, which, considering they released on all platforms, considering the hype that was around this, considering the property that is the Avengers, it's a massive fucking disappointment for this. And this is an example of a game launching broken. Lethal, as the one person who still plays this game, well, what are your thoughts about this?
Him and Rippa.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's just me and him. Me and him are the only two people that play it. I don't understand how it costs this much to make. Like, how? What did they spend the money on? It doesn't look that good. There's not a whole lot of content in there at launch. I mean, I'm fascinated with what they spent the money on.
Bro, it costs around, so they estimate, watch this, here you go. It looks like the total cost of the game is closer to 170 to 190 million.
How?
Given they only expenses 70% of cost in the quarter plus marketing cost. Why someone didn't say stop post the multiplayer beta will remain a mystery. Square are adamant that they can make a recovery. And
I don't know how they're going to do that, because all the DLC characters are coming for free. If you want to, you pay like $10 and you get access to their battle pass, which like has no time limit, like the Call of Duty one. But the thing is, right, you could do that battle pass, right, and by the time you've completed it, you will have enough like in-game currency. So when the next character comes around, you can just buy that and automatically unlock it and keep the cycle going. So you could do all of them for $10, and that's assuming that you didn't stack up a whole bunch with like the base characters. So I don't know how they're going to make money back.
Yeah, because the people that are going to continue to play are going to do like what you said, Lethal. The people that can continue to play the game, they've already slashed all their cosmetics, like pricing, because people weren't buying it because there's not enough people in there. So look at this. There's 1,100 people playing right now, which is a fucking lot considering what it was over the past 7 days. 471 people playing, 460 people playing earlier this morning. How fucking embarrassing for them.
Yeah, with games like that, like looters, it's really difficult when there's a low player count like that for new players to even start, because all the people playing there are probably doing like high level end game content, because they're the ones that like actually will still be playing the game when there's 400 people playing. So if you're a new player trying to jump on, you might get through the story, but then when it comes time to do the end game content, everyone else is so far ahead of you that they don't even want to waste their time helping you.
All the ads look like Lethal was using my browser or something. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's playing Genshin Impact. Or
but
that game's making a shitload of money. It's
Yeah,
made like since it launched, it's made like a $250 million or something like that.
Whew, that's insane, man.
And
I
it's
will
a
say I
free-to-play
play it
game.
on PlayStation, and I was playing before my stream, which is a few hours before this one, and I had no problem finding people to play with. But again, I'm on PlayStation, so
I think there's more people that have it on PlayStation than anything else. If I were betting, especially there's only one Stadia review from critics. I don't know how there's 51 Stadia reviews. I don't believe that there's 51 people that own it on Stadia. Like,
no, that's just people trolling at this point.
I don't think it's possible to be honest.
I'm sure that they're doing it for bigoted reasons, alt-right reasons. They're all 51 of those reviews are all the alt-right, just spamming the Stadia review. A clear dog whistle right there, everyone. A clear dog whistle.
Yeah, we need to get that dog whistle prop. And yeah, here it is.
Really slash the price of some cosmetic items. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll turn the game around.
Yeah, well, they did a 50% fucking discount on a bunch of stuff, and they're like, after fan feedback, we realized we're gonna keep these cost cuts. You guys seem to like paying less for things.
But the thing is, the cost cut was in-game currency as well.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like you could buy, it's like COD points. You could spend money and buy the coins to do it or whatever. But again, someone like me that had the game at launch, everything's gone half price. I've just like gone through it, going, oh yeah, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that.
Is this the future of the MCU?
Well, probably shouldn't say what I was going to say.
Let's hope so. I certainly hope so. I mean, we know that it's going to die, but the thing is, like, they have to fix the game, but now they're pushing back everything that their current players want. So the people that are actually playing the game want the fucking DLC that they were promised, but nothing's coming out. So none of the new missions, none of the changes, none of the things to make it fresh, none of the DLC is coming because they're delaying it to actually fix the game to get more people to play. So they're in a fucking bad spot right now. That's a lot of money that they have lost. I mean, they made an astronomical amount of money with Final Fantasy VII, which is only released on one platform. And
I will be buying it in the spring because I do really want to play Final Fantasy VII.
I'm fascinated with how this game cost that much to make.
I don't know, because of all the diversity.
No, well, I mean, like in a way, yes, but probably not the way you're thinking. It's because there's so many different playable characters, and that's a lot of focus to be spread very thin across a bunch of different elements. Like, so no one player can get as fleshed out as, say, like Spider-Man was in the Insomniac Spider-Man game, because they had to make Iron Man and Captain America and Black Widow and Kamala Khan and Hulk.
Yeah.
Too much to do, and then trying to balance it with all the loot mechanics was just not a good idea.
I just want to. I'm really proud. I'm proud of Lethal for doing this, for keeping this game alive single-handedly. So
I titled one of my Twitch streams that increasing the player base by 85%.
Let's get to a couple super chats.
Hang on, before we get super chats, I know we're gonna stay away from politics for the most part, but we got some breaking news that I have to share. So right here, breaking news right now. Breaking news. Jeb has taken the lead. It is over. I don't think Lethal or Mark are going to understand. Mark
will, because he watches EFAP.
Yeah. So Jeb has taken the lead, everybody. This is a big moment for democracy. For our that is the best meme so far.
He bribed everybody with his guacamole. I believe that's how he did it. He got the Hispanic vote to come out after the guacamole incident. That has to be why Jeb performed so well. Listen, that's the story of the election. The story of the election is that Jeb performed shockingly well with the Latino population. Biden performed shockingly well with people between the ages of 100 and 200 years old. That has been confirmed. So many people that were thought were dead have voted for the man. So it's very interesting, very intriguing.
Oh, that's
I think
great.
they just don't want to admit that Kanye actually won.
Kanye won our hearts. Different battle.
Oh man.
It'll be 2024. Kanye 24. He already said it. Yeezy 24. Dex Luther for Canadian $5. I'm a tester. I actually worked on the METR thing. A lot of patches come down to submissions on console and how those work and how expensive they are. There you go. That's interesting. Thank you, Dex Luther. Interesting. Exo Arts for $5. Trump wins his lawsuits, specifically in Pennsylvania. He wins the presidency. Like I said, this shit is not over. I find it strange. I saw a lot of people this morning who have been saying that the media is lying to us. Then after the media announced a winner, they said, "Oh, guess it's over." So I would just say there's a lot of we're going to be talking about this for the next couple months.
I'm just happy. I'm happy COVID's over. I'm happy that, Trump had rallies. They were super spreader rallies. Now everybody's in fucking New York dancing and fucking shoulder to shoulder. And suddenly it's all over now. Like, God, people are so easily manipulated. So,
is Mark manipulating me right now?
Yes.
Cool. That's kind of hot.
Thank you, XL Arts, for the super chat. Gay Jeremy for $1.99 says Ryan is hot. Lightning is shockingly sexy.
What about
Correct.
Mark?
Not enough characters. Not enough characters to fit that frame right in. But thank you, Gay Jeremy.
Does Krista, does Dragon Ball Chicks Mark is like, does that show up if you highlight it? What does it even mean?
Yeah, I don't know, like, was my mouth open or something? Or is that just my reaction when Americans are talking about politics around there? I'm just like,
Maybe.
Okay, you guys go subscribe to Dragon Ball Chick and Jaywalking the Planet. Jay's new channel and Krista's new channel, Dragon Ball Chick. Let's get them up to 1,000 subs. They're both around 700 right now. So supporting the team.
Do it. Cliff 3188 for $4.99 says Square Enix 20-year partnership with Disney has caused them to financially sway from record profits to near bankruptcy. Cut Disney off to survive. I listen. They lost a lot of money this quarter. They still have a lot of good things with Square Enix. So I think they'll be okay. But it is interesting that happened.
As a Kingdom Hearts fan, I cannot agree with that.
Yeah, I say do it just to ruin Lethal's day. That's what I say. You have someone claimed you, Lethal.
Yep.
Nico Blue.
Yeah, he's cool. I know him.
Lethal's mine with a little kiss. So there you go, Lethal.
Everyone loves me.
That's true. Fincastle IE for €5. What are your current thoughts around Cyberpunk 2077? Will the media complain about character customization once it's out? No. They'll complain about everything, but I don't think the character customization will be a big deal because you can literally put tits or a dick on whatever the fuck you want, evidently. I do think that I think that they'll complain about things in the game that it's like, oh, they didn't make enough of a statement. Oh, when you get introduced to this minority character, they didn't delve into why he's so fucking oppressed enough. They didn't give you they didn't paint these people as bad as they should be. I think there's going to be a lot of that around the media portrayal. But I mean, we'll see if this game even fucking comes out in December. I guess that'll be everyone's Christmas present if it actually comes out in December. What do you guys think?
My guess is still not coming out in December, though I did have to book my Christmas leave, and just to be safe, I started on the 10th, but I just had to pick a start day anyways, so I wasn't specifically for Cyberpunk this time, but I will be off the day that it's allegedly coming out. So,
I mean, I don't think it's gonna come out in December. But I do need to get some new Keanu going because I recently watched this Knock Knock movie, which is one of the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
fucking things I've ever seen. Like, what the fuck was that?
I kind of liked it. It's really
oh my
weird.
god, it was the most cringe. Have you guys seen it?
like-
Ryan or Lethal?
Don't tell them very much about it.
Oh,
Go into it thinking it's a horror movie.
Knock knock. Hold on.
I don't have time to watch.
have you seen that meme with Keanu where he's buried all the way up to his head and he's got the thing in his mouth? He's like looking at the phones. Like that's what this comes from. It's so fucking bad.
Literally the last thing that happens in the movie.
It's so fucking bad. It's so bad.
It's an Eli Roth movie though. It's the guy who directed Hostel and Cabin Fever. He was the bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards.
Have you ever seen?
Lethal would like it. Lethal would like the premise.
The scariest movie I've seen in recent years.
Would like it a lot.
The scariest movie I've seen in recent years is called Creep. It is a super low fucking budget. It is scary as fuck because
it's Mark Duplass.
With the guy from the League. Yeah, with the guy from the League. It is literally just the whole thing is filmed with a handheld camera, and there's only 2 characters really.
Mhm.
That scared the fuck out of me. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it for days after because it could be real. And
and the ending is very haunting.
Oh my god, I'm getting chills. It scared the fuck out of me. Ghosts, whatever. I get scared by jump scares, things like that. This movie like disturbed me because there's people like that out there. And they could be fucking anybody. It could be lethal.
That's why that movie Strangers bothered me. The one where they're like,
Strangers is also very good.
Like, and they were like, "Why are you doing this?" And like, because you were home. It's like, fuck.
Both Creep and Strangers have sequels that are not good at all, too.
Yeah, Creep 2. It's with a woman.
It wasn't as good as the first one. It was kind of just the same premise again, and like I don't know. But Strangers 2 was all of a sudden like just a really cookie cutter slasher movie, whereas the first Strangers was like really suspense driven and like dark. It almost seems like you should be cheering for the Strangers.
Where can I watch Creep?
It was on Netflix for a long time.
In Canada, at least.
Yeah, it was on Netflix. It probably still is. It's just like you're probably gonna be like, really, like this is scary, and by the end,
look, if I'm at home and I'm watching a scary movie, it will bother me. If I'm at a cinema or theater, it's like no, there's like I'm surrounded by people. I'm not worried about it. If I'm at home though, yeah, this shit fucks me up.
It's not like traditional horror. It's a movie that'll freak you out by the end. At least it did for me.
Have you seen The Strangers?
No. What is that?
So you need to watch Strangers. Jeremy needs to watch Creep, and Lethal needs to watch Knock Knock.
Wait, is Strangers is
Liv Tyler's in it? Liv
Tyler and Scott Speedman, I think, are the 2 protagonists.
I don't remember. I don't know that. So is it a movie that kind of ends with little lanterns all around the city lighting up? That everyone's doing that?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out then.
Hang on. Let me show you. It's this movie right here.
The girls in Knock Knock, though, that seduce Keanu Reeves are Lorena Itzo, who's Eli Roth's wife, and Ana de Armas from Blade Runner 2049.
Nice.
She's fucking Ben Affleck right now.
There you go.
Right there, Ryan.
You use Keanu as a stepping stool.
Yeah, it's a good ass movie. It's fucking. It'll fuck you up.
Strangers. It looks like that movie that the black guy made.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that cinema. Horror is actually my favorite genre. I watch a lot of horror.
Premise. Strangers is a much different premise than Us.
Yeah, just that one shot reminded me of that. But yeah.
This is our weekly point where we kind of go off gaming and talk about movies.
Speaking of horror, Gay Jeremy for $5 says Mark is Big Daddy who pays my bills.
Everything except the last part is true.
He actually doesn't pay his bills like for any type of. It's not about like sexual favors. It's actually just because he's trying to spread the wealth, going full socialist. So that's
okay. You got me with
that one. All right. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Ryan Johnson for Canadian $2. Says Ryan, you look sexy when Baby Yoda sniffed you. I think I have it pulled up. This is from Fat Steven Seagal last night, shown on Friday Night Tights.
I like the other one. I like the other one.
Oh God, I guess we can show that real quick.
Gotta show that shit. Gotta show it. There it is, right there. That is awful. That is awful. That's nightmare fuel right there. Holy shit.
Horrendous. That afro-headed bitch, I really hope she doesn't pop up again in Mandalorian season 2. She's so fucking trash.
She's pretty annoying. Yeah.
She's so unfunny. Like it's fucking so cringe and unbearable. I hope she
was
dies.
there a Killick in the last episode?
I mean, it was a bug. They never said it was a Killick, but I mean, Killicks just look like bugs. But I saw a bunch of people talking about, it could have been a Killick. But it was a massive one. It was one that was bigger than humans.
Like the one that she was like, what was she gambling
playing cards with?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and I'm like already forgetting how.
If it was a Killick, it doesn't make really any sense that it's on Tatooine doing whatever it's doing. So it could be a Killick, but I don't know.
The lack of use of flamethrower in the sequence towards the end was bothering me so much. Like you know.
And then I was like, well, maybe he's doing it not to melt the door. That's the only explanation. But no, then he just fucking uses it. Oh my God. All right. Math isn't my best subject for $5. Sup, y'all? I'm glad to hear Marvel flopped, disappointed about Mass Effect not being remade, and I'm interested to try BOCW. Black Ops Cold War. I was like, what the fuck is that? But thank you, Math is my best subject. Well, they're not doing remakes, but they're doing remasters. So we'll see what it ends up being and how remastered it is, and how much they actually do retool it or modernize it. But thank you, Math is my best subject. Mexican Iron Man for $25, not pesos, dollars from Mexican Iron Man. Hey boys, good morning. Well, let's ignore the election for now. I'm reporting for action duty to get beat up like a little brown Mexican Iron Man that I am. Let's do this. I can't handle anymore. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. Mexican Iron Man, a dude who supports a lot of fucking people in the community. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely,
really appreciate the support, man. Thank you. And speaking of Black Ops Cold War and video games, shockingly enough, Lethal has a video that's going to be on the main channel in a little bit about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. We got a few more details about it. Can you give us the basis on what you found out, what your video's about, Lethal?
It's essentially to do with the leveling system with Cold War and how it's actually integrated with Modern Warfare. So it's kind of hard to explain like this, but there is kind of like the old Prestige system, except it's also integrated with how Modern Warfare did seasons. But the cool thing is that you can play Modern Warfare and you will get XP for Cold War. Like all of it is funneled down into one thing. So you could play Warzone and you'll be getting leveling up your battle pass, which goes across both games and all that type of stuff. And Warzone will be coming into Cold War in December because that's when Season 1 starts. And when Season 1 starts, there's kind of going to be a reset on Modern Warfare where you won't lose all your stuff, but like your level will reset because you'll have it's almost like a universal level across both games. You know what I mean? Is that making sense so far? But essentially everything funnels down into one. But when Black Ops has their Season 1 and then Warzone comes to that, so you will be playing Warzone and you'll be able to play with Black Ops weapons, for example, and Modern Warfare weapons at the same time. But you'll be using the Modern Warfare engine, which is pretty cool because in the past, whenever a new Call of Duty game came out, it just made the last one completely redundant.
Irrelevant, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, everything you'd done didn't matter. But that's not the case anymore. So the example I use in the video is I could be playing Cold War, an update will come out, and I hate the update because it just breaks everything or it just nerfs all the guns I like or whatever. So I go, fuck it, I'll go back to Modern Warfare, play Modern Warfare, and still level up in Cold War.
That is interesting and
very interesting.
Warzone to me, this is the thing behind it all. When Warzone came out, it was such a big hit. I wonder if they initially I wonder if they've always planned from the beginning to integrate it so closely, or if the raving success of Warzone made them kind of reevaluate everything and when they were making it. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, I feel like they didn't. I feel like the success of Warzone has had an impact because I don't think they knew how big this was going to be.
Modern Warfare 2019 worst Call of Duty to date.
I disagree. No, I very strongly disagree.
Yeah,
with
I do
that.
too. Big time, big time. I mean, again, I'm someone who has been checked out of Call of Duty for a long time, basically since Black Ops 2. And this is the game that brought me back into it. So,
I mean, I think that like World War II and fucking what was it, Black Ops 4 that were released. Those are the two that were right before that, right? Those were fucking.
What about Infinite Warfare? I thought that was really bad.
Oh, Infinite Warfare was terrible, but I think Mark liked the campaign. I think
the campaign is good. I agree with Mark. The campaign is really cool, but it's not really Call of Duty. It's like it's a fucking random space sci-fi military campaign. Mark, you're muted.
Sorry, I took a sip of my coffee, but Lord Crackhead 33 gets it. Black Ops 3 was fucking horrible. The story in Black Ops 3 was nonsensical.
I can't even remember.
Lord Crackhead. There you go. Lord Crackhead is right.
it used to be a Jeremy account. I think it's a Crackhead Jeremy is what it was.
And then Jeremy started doing crack.
And I was making like a weird face in it. I was like, that's fucking fantastic, actually.
What were you saying?
I'd say there's much worse. I just think there's much worse Call of Duties in 2019.
Yeah, I've been happy with it. We'll see. Go ahead.
Well, which Call of Duty is your favorite overall? Mine's Black Ops 1.
Probably Black Ops 1 or I guess the original Modern Warfare. It's so tough to fucking go back and compare all of those.
I'm going to say World at War.
I'm playing Black Ops 1 right now, and the story is definitely very good. Going back to the gameplay and the Call of Duties that are that far back, they've definitely refined it a lot since. I won't say it's bad, but it doesn't feel quite as good as the modern ones do.
Are people still playing the online multiplayer for Black Ops 1?
I don't know. I'm going through the story because I'm reviewing the campaign for Cold War, which is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. So I'm playing through the Black Ops 1 story so that it's fresh in my head.
I would like for us to maybe if I get Black Ops for all of us on PC and just play some private matches. That'd be pretty cool.
The numbers. Yeah, I would say if I had to pick, it would be Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2 was the shit.
Those are the ones that like really stick out in my head. That I fucking played a shit ton of.
I think I like the original Modern Warfare more than Modern Warfare 2.
I think I may like Modern Warfare 2 more because I played it more with everybody.
I think, it's also tough comparing. Like, are we talking about the multiplayers or the campaigns? Because my answers are going to be different.
I like that there was a meme going around of Trump and Biden, or it's like letting them settle it on Rust. I'm like, dude, you know how many people would watch that shit? We'd all watch that shit.
Oh my god, dude, I would love to hear that. Fucking just hear like Biden stuck in a corner, like I can't move this guy. Come on, man. I remember my day back in Scranton. Back in Scranton, I was born there. My grandpappy got me an old Super Nintendo. I guess he was fucking 60 when that happened, but
863 people are playing Black Ops 1 on Steam right now.
That's almost more than Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, no, I was about to say.
And then Trump would be bragging about how he has the best KD. Like, we have the best numbers. We have the best numbers. We have the best KD. We have the best KD in the history of Call of Duty. Like, it would be so great.
Dude, that would be so fucking funny.
Biden stuck in a corner shooting into the air, and Trump bragging about his best KD in the history of Call of Duty.
Dude, have them play with DSP. That's what I want. Both of them on a stream with DSP, and they'd probably both beat him. That would be the best part of it all. Bug political mechanics.
I'm pressing buttons.
It's not doing anything. But back to Black Ops, something that Mark hasn't really been triggered yet today, so let's do it.
I
Call of
started the
Duty-
episode yelling at you guys.
See, that's all it took was to say you've never been triggered. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War players on PlayStation will earn XP faster. Mark, your initial
mad,
thought.
bro?
It's more just making me laugh because it's just Sony again being like, "Hey, let's pay this company to make the other versions of this game slightly less good." It's such a dick move because like to all the people that have like pre-ordered it on PC and Xbox, it's like, well, wait, so we're now like it's a cross-play game too, so we're now at a disadvantage for like unlocking weapons that are actually going to be used in game because we didn't buy your plastic box. Or if we own your plastic box, we didn't decide to get this version of this exact same game being bought for the same price from the same company. It sucks.
Yeah, so if you're planning on picking up Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on PC and squatting up with your PlayStation buddies, be ready for the scales to tip in their favor. Sony announced today, I mean, it already does, via the PlayStation blog, a slate of advantages that will be exclusive to PS4 and 5 players. The last 6 years have had PlayStation integration to exclusive modes, but Cold War's integrations will literally allow PlayStation players to level up faster than everyone else. Here's a full rundown of the multiplayer bonuses. The Battle Pass bundle bonus, unlock new gear and goodies even faster. PlayStation players that purchase the $20 Battle Pass bundles will get an additional 5 tier skips when you buy it. PlayStation Party bonus, teamwork makes the dream work. PlayStation party players that play together in parties receive a 25% bonus XP. So just for us being in a party and playing together, we're going to receive a quarter more XP than Mark will.
So stupid.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Double XP bonus. PlayStation players can look forward to exclusive monthly double XP events. So prepare to boost your rank. And extra loadouts. Be prepared for any scenario. PlayStation players get an additional 2 loadout slots ready for customization.
Wow.
Does this also have the exclusive zombie stuff?
Yep.
Yep.
There's also it's zombie survival mode, right? It's basically
including
like
Cold War's
zombies.
Yeah, zombie onslaught.
Yeah. So yeah, it's silly.
That's gonna be pretty crazy.
I don't know. That's bad. That's
terrible. It's terrible. Mark,
mean,
I need an angry rant video.
It's just like
Top 10 reasons why this sucks. Watch Mojo Mark. Subscribe for future top 10 lists.
Can't do it. Although get Krista to make me some screenshots with random things circled in red.
There you go. Yeah, that'll be the thumbnail. I think that overall, listen, I mean, if I have it, I'll probably play it on a PlayStation, so it is what it is.
I will be playing on a PlayStation just specifically to make Mark mad at this point.
Yeah,
that's my only motivation now.
Ryan, if you play it on your computer, you can actually run the game at like I think your monitor is 165 hertz.
Yeah.
You're running triple the frame rate that you would be on PlayStation if you want.
Well, here's the question. I could play it on PlayStation, get triple the frame rate, have to use a mouse, probably get fucking destroyed. Or I can just do nothing and play the same way I am and get 25%
You can use
more
the
experience.
controller on PC. I hate these people. I don't want to play on PC because I like using controllers. You idiot. Plug one in. It's not hard.
I think you need to give Mark full screen. Can you go on a rant right now? Come on, tell him about the controller. Like, hey, Mark, hang on, Mark. I don't want to play on PC because I like using my controller.
Okay. People that say I don't want to play on PC because I like using my controller. Oh, look here, that's an Xbox controller. Guess what? It's a PC controller. Oh, hey, look at that. A scuffed PlayStation controller, also a PC controller. There's a Nintendo Pro controller around here. That is also a PC controller. Just plug one in. That's all.
Hey, Mark, I like my console.
Yeah. I
like the console. Like I like the sound.
Don't tell me that you don't want to play on PC because you like using controllers, because that's not a reason.
But I like the sound of my PlayStation when it sounds like it's going to take off like a jet engine. Can your PC mimic
that? That is an actual reason that is specific to your PlayStation.
Okay, now Mark,
what if does the computer that I purchased come with the controller? Because my PlayStation comes with a controller.
What is that? One of the parts that you added to your build list? Because if so, then yes, it comes with a
I
controller.
went to Walmart and bought my computer, a very reputable source, and it didn't have a PlayStation 4 controller.
Is that an Xbox 360 controller I see in your background on one of the shelves?
Why are you bringing that up?
Because you have a PC controller right there.
I went to.
Are you
I went to
saying
Best Buy.
Are you saying this is a PC controller,
Yes.
Mark?
I went
No,
to
it's
Best
not.
Buy.
That's the
and
PlayStation controller.
I
What
just
about
bought
this?
a computer that glowed. That's why it looked pretty, so I bought it.
Yeah, well,
My
I mean,
favorite game's Nintendo.
the RBG lights always triple the frame rate, so you got to get as much RBG as possible.
Can I play God of War on PC?
No, because it's exclusive.
Okay. And you are a fan of exclusive.
Although, I mean, I don't know. Actually, can you play God of War on PS Now? I don't use PS Now, so. But if you
Does
can, then
Fortnite
yes,
look
I guess
really
do it.
good on a PC?
Sorry?
Does Fortnite look really good on a PC?
I don't know. I don't play Fortnite. I'd imagine it would run better, but like,
Justin Proper says, Mark, my computer doesn't have a USB port. What do I do?
get a new computer.
Mark, can I borrow your Epic account for a night?
I mean, you can have it forever if you want. It exists. I bought Hades on it, which is actually a game I'm playing right now. But prior to them doing the platform exclusivity stuff, I did make an Epic Store account and used it for one game exactly. And it's just since they started doing the this game can't be on Steam for a year stuff that I decided to boycott. So if you want, I can give you the Mark the Cyborg Epic Game Store login info.
All right, we need to leave Mark alone. He's going to get mad. And
Yeah.
He's going to go off on us.
Yeah, well, he's getting more calm, which is boring. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Ryan Johnson for Canadian $2. Apex Legends new season and Battle Pass thoughts. Meh for me. Mark, I
fired up Apex Legends just after our Warzone stream just to see if my Origin progress came across on Steam, and it did, but I didn't play a game, so I can't really say much about the actual content. I can say, though, that if you were playing Apex on Origin, if you just install it on Steam and open it up, it will already have your progress there if your Origin and Steam accounts are linked.
There you go.
And actually, for Titanfall 2, it gave me all my Steam achievements.
That's nice.
Pretty neat.
The Gilk Man doesn't say anything, but a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Thomas. And I think last week you also sent a super chat right as we ended the stream.
He did.
But thank you so much for that, Thomas. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
glad we were able to get this one.
As soon as that came in, we're like, damn it, Thomas, super chat.
Math isn't my best subject. $5. Me, a PlayStation player. Fairness is when the odds are tilted in my favor. Seriously though, why would they do that? It doesn't make sense because Sony pays them to have these exclusive deals so that more people will hopefully go and buy it for PlayStation.
I think the reason stuff like this has been happening is that they probably made like a 5-year deal when Black Ops 3 was coming out. That was PlayStation will always get the map packs earlier. So once Activision was like, okay, but we find the map packs are really dividing the player base because it becomes people that just want to play the vanilla version and then people that have one of the map packs or people that have 3 of the map packs, and all the matchmaking is getting harder to do. But then Sony's like, well, we already paid you, so you got to give us something. So for both Modern Warfare and Cold War, they've been trying to think of exclusive stuff they can give to PlayStation.
XP.
XP, yeah. Somebody level up quicker. It's not a big deal, Mark. I'll just get access to guns quicker than you.
I mean, like, they could do things like just have it so that there's a Kratos skin. I'm sure, like, there's fucking Jigsaw and Leatherface in the game now. I think you could put in Kratos as.
I don't want to play as Kratos. I want to get my guns faster than you.
I want an unfair advantage.
Yeah. David Hervey for $25. Thank you so much, David. Is Mark being reimbursed by Glade for all this talk of plugging in? Shout out Drunk 3PO and Krista's new channels. Yes, shout out Jaywalking the Planet and Dragon Ball Chick. I saw both of them in the chat at one point. Make sure you guys subscribe to both of them. Thank you, David. Big super chat, man. Thank you.
No, I do. I love Jay's. I love the title of his channel, Jaywalking the Planet. That's a good one. He does his traveling, and some of the stuff he's done in the past is really cool. And then obviously Krista, with her, if you're into Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, all that, definitely tune in. She's got some good coverage over there, so that's good stuff on both their parts.
I was talking with her on Discord for like an hour and a half, just talking about Dragon Ball the other day. She knows her shit. She
does. She knows her stuff. So
I've
she said you don't know shit about it though.
No, she's had me watch a few episodes though. It's actually pretty interesting.
I've never seen a Dragon Ball. Never got into it.
Dragon Ball will make you understand the joke when people say WWE is just redneck anime. Because Dragon Ball
that's fucking hilarious.
Dragon Ball is
I've never heard that joke either.
Dragon Ball is essentially WWE for weeps. Like,
there you go.
That's kind of what politics is for me. WWE, like it's the Attitude Era. So that's how I look at it. But I'm enjoying Dragon Ball. It's really good, and I've never had any interest whatsoever. But she knows her stuff, so you guys check it out.
There you go. Bugzykins for $5 Canadian. On my PC, I use actual PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch controllers. You don't need a PC version of them. Just take your console controller and plug it into PC. Is that easy? You don't need to download any drivers, Mark, or it just works?
At least for an Xbox controller, for sure, you can just plug it in. But it's been a while since I've used a PS4 controller. It might need an update. I think Steam has native DualShock 4 or DualShock. Yeah, it is DualShock 4, right? It's the new one that has a new name. PS4 controller support. I don't think Epic does at all, and I'm not sure about GOG. But the Microsoft, like the Xbox controller, pretty much just works across everything because it's supported by Windows.
Yeah. Rin Weasley says y'all late on Dragon Ball. That's the thing. Like, there were a bunch of people that were like into it, and I was like, okay. And they're like, yeah, there's like 500 episodes. Fuck that shit. I'm not gonna fucking watch all that stuff.
It's kind of like Supernatural. It's just so intimidating. You're like, Jesus Christ. There's like 82 seasons of this shit. So.
Yeah. Venom Snake for Australian $2 says Trump should create his own social media platform. But the problem is that only people that support him will join. You won't get the word out to anybody else. But yeah. And then Venom Snake for another $2 says, Jeremy, what should Trump do if he loses in court?
Run in 2024. That's it.
Oh, God. If I were him, I wouldn't want to do that.
Again, though, if you were him, would you have ever wanted to run for president in the first place? Like,
probably not. No.
Exactly. It's like this guy's driven on. And again, I'm a Trump fan. Okay, there's nothing wrong with saying this dude has an ego. He has a fucking ego the size of the fucking country. But he also, like, he's going to be more determined than ever, even at his age. So again, anybody who's in his position would have never ran for president in the first place. Donald Trump's not a normal person. Like, this guy is driven. So we'll see what happens. But again, if you want to hear more about that, my D-Day Cobra channel, that's what that's for. And I specifically talk about this. Yesterday, I uploaded a video talking about it. So that's what that's there for.
I think he's to subvert expectations and run for Chancellor of the EU.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe he'll get elected in Poland or something. But if it all happens, like I said, there's press conferences going on right now. This shit's going to play out a long fucking time, guys. But if it's all said and done and he ends up having to leave the White House, he's literally going to spend the next 4 years just shitting on them. That's what's going to happen. So we'll see.
Trump will be the only one with Biden derangement syndrome.
Well, other than actually him, they're going to name a new term just for him. It's going to be a new medical diagnosis when you make up like 13 origin stories about what you did when you were 13 years old in your fucking town. It's going to be called BDS. Borg Porg, $2. Can't wait to see Anna rage in Mario Kart soon. Thank you, Borg Porg. Now, speaking of video games, really, though, we got a big thing coming up next week. We got the release of the new console generations, and PlayStation 5 is making a lot of waves. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are really looking forward to Xbox as well. But specifically, I've heard a lot of good things over the past couple days and the past week about PlayStation 5. A lot of people reviewing PlayStation 5 games, the equipment, that say it's just fucking phenomenal. Specifically, I watched a couple reviews of Miles Morales. Evidently, it's really fucking good. I know Lethal's been watching a lot of those too. What's everybody saying about PS5, at least that we see on YouTube?
It's just all around good stuff. A lot of people are really talking about how good the controller is. What do they call it? The haptic feedback. Apparently, that's supposed to be like, the duck's nuts. That's where it's at. But on the subject of Miles Morales, I don't think anyone ever doubted that it was going to be that. There was never this, it's going to be bad. I'm pretty sure everyone looked at it and said, yeah, it's probably going to be good. Like the first one was brilliant. So everything about this one was going to be good. I think the big concern was, is it just DLC?
Is it going to be like a 5 or 10 hour game or something?
Yeah. But apparently that's not the case. So everything's looking good.
I thought I was reading something that was saying it's 8 hours long.
The one I saw was a bit longer, but maybe they were just trash.
God, I wouldn't pay fucking $50 for that game being 6 to 8 hours. So that's the thing. But what I would pay for, and here's the thing I think that they're counting on, is that people want to play it for Spider-Man Remastered. So they'll go ahead and spend $70 to get Spider-Man Remastered. And they are doing something that I'm sure Mark really likes. From almost all of these new games that I can see, they have performance mode and fidelity modes. So they have modes that will get you to 4K at 60 FPS, which Mark wants.
Okay, sure. I don't believe it. I don't believe that PS5 is going to be regularly putting games out at 4K 60. Maybe upscale 4K, but my
there are
computer,
probably some that are upscale. But
my computer has a lot of trouble hitting 4K 60 on a lot of games, and it's significantly more powerful than the PS5. They often just do like an upscale that gets it to kind of look 4K, and most often it's 4K 30 for games that are coming out. Well, I mean, the thing's not magic, right? It's not going to all of a sudden start outperforming a 3090.
So basically what specifically for Miles Morales and I believe Demon Souls, both of those games have 2 game modes, one of them being true 4K at 30 FPS. Spider-Man calls it their fidelity mode, that is like full ray tracing everything to the max. So you can see it at 30 FPS with as beautiful as it could possibly be, or you could play it in whatever they're calling 4K, not native 4K, but probably their upscaled 4K at 60. Same thing I've heard for Demon Souls.
At least for Demon Souls, it's dynamic 4K, which basically that means that it will be 4K when you're just standing in a small room. But when you start moving around, the resolution will dynamically drop to keep the frame rate above 60.
Right.
Have you seen the load screens on the PlayStation 5?
Oh my God. Yeah. There's
that, man.
Yeah. So specifically in Skill Up's review of Spider-Man Miles Morales, he started the game and it immediately went to the menu, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. And then the time from when he clicked start to going into the game was less than 2 seconds. Yeah. Fully to web swinging, fully loaded New York City. That is going to be, I think, the really big thing for both PlayStation 5 and Xbox. These load times will completely, there's no more sitting around waiting for that fucking line.
I have not been paying much attention because I know we've got the full reviews for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So I've obviously been paying attention to other things going on a lot. But what is kind of the consensus right now? Which one seems to be getting better feedback at this point?
It's going to be tough to compare them directly. I think that from what I've heard, everyone's like, "Oh, Xbox is more powerful. Xbox is more powerful." And it does look like it is going to be slightly more powerful. I just think that what we're seeing from people who are making things for PlayStation, it looks like they're going to be getting so much out of designing it specifically for PlayStation. I think it'll all come down to kind of like Mark made his video about. I think people are going to gravitate towards PlayStation 5, but Xbox Game Pass is going to be the big factor in whether people buy an Xbox or not, in my opinion, especially with the launch titles that they have. I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
I think that kind of even more interestingly than that is Game Pass. I don't necessarily see as them being their good bait towards an Xbox Series X or Series S. I think that Game Pass is kind of the point in and of itself. And I just think that the way I bring it up in the video I made, like the Karens, the soccer moms that don't know anything about video games that are coming into, well, I don't know, like with the COVID now, they might not be wandering into a Best Buy to buy a like console for their kid. But if they're told you can get this game console for $400 and games are $70 each, or this console for $400 and for $14.99 you can play like 100 games, then a lot of them might end up leaning towards the Xbox in that context. But I think Microsoft needs to get better about the actual way they're marketing Game Pass and the way they're getting their point of what a deal it is across to people.
There you go. Lethal Sharon, is this the what your experience as a black man? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Perfect. All right,
So,
Jeremy, you're gonna like this if you
the,
haven't seen this.
This is from a GameStop review of the new
GameSpot.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
The way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards to face the camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me goosebumps every time he does it, especially as the music begins to swell. Speaking of,
What?
I'm so not racist that seeing the way a black teen is animated on screen gives me goosebumps.
Crap. What?
he
Or
leaps
seeing
off
the
of
way I
rooftops
think a
and
black
flips
teen
backwards
should
to
be
face the
animated.
camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me
The next line though is it gives me goosebumps every time he does it. It's like, what?
But then, and Drunk 3PO actually sent me this tweet. This is the GameSpot editor, which, what a shame. A verified GameSpot editor, 1,400 followers. Fucking delete your account. Hi, GameSpot editor here.
Andy here.
If you actually bothered to read and listen to Jordan's review, who is black, the majority of it examined Miles' experience being a black character in NYC. This shameful tweet of yours just reeks of you assuming he was white and speaking out of turn.
Oh,
Still a weird thing to say.
it's a very weird thing to say.
When he jumps off and turns back and looks at me, it reminds me of all the swagger of a black teen that I would expect from this movie. Did I mention black in my review?
Jeez.
I like that he's black.
And this one time he does a one-handed cartwheel at the top of the Empire State Building and says the N-word, and I was just like, oh, yeah.
The casual use of the N-word in this game really gives me the swagger and feel of a black teen that I'm expecting from Spider-Man Miles Morales. 10 out of 10.
What a
Thank you,
horrible.
GameSpot.
These people are fucking weird, man.
Even if a black dude said it, it's still cringy as fuck. Yes. Yes, indeed. Then Frank Funny's review. He's black. IGN 10 of 10.
And no, Justin Proper, I was joking. At least I think so. I don't think that's a thing that they would put in this game.
Probably not. Into the Spider-Verse, boys. But yeah, as far as listen, I don't really see myself getting an Xbox because I have my gaming computer, Mark. So I probably won't get an Xbox. Anything I want to play will eventually be on PlayStation 5 at some point.
Have you tried Game Pass?
I'm waiting. I have actually 3 months free of Game Pass with my Discord stuff, so I'm waiting to activate it.
There might be some neat stuff to check out.
I know. As Mark casually sips his anomaly.
I'm actually out of coffee now. I was sad to realize that. I must have taken my last sip the last time I went for it. Excellent, bro. Get me coffee.
I said on one of my D-Day cover videos during this whole process with the election, I was like, there's only one anomaly. And then Anomaly comments on my video. He says, there's only one anomaly, you say? Sounds about right. Like, what the hell?
Have you heard this one before, Jeremy? I've never heard that one before. All right. But I don't know. Lethal, I know I think all of us, Mark's going to get a PS5 right away, right? Just to play Demon Souls?
I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't have them pre-ordered, but I really would like to cover Demon Souls, and for when we are playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'd like to play it at 60. Also, for my best of 2020 video, I would like to have gotten through all of Ghost of Tsushima because I think I would put it on there for Legends alone, but I think I should get through the campaign as well.
Yeah,
According to Chris, he says, "What is Jeremy looking? Is Jeremy looking for birds?" I have monitors up here.
he's watching the news.
I'm watching the news and I'm watching the chat over here.
He's
I've
watching
got
Rudy Giuliani.
I've got 5 screens in front of me right now, so it's like a bat cave.
Yeah, exactly.
Got down a bit of a rabbit hole of the memes that suggest that birds don't exist and all birds are just government spy drones. Some of them are pretty funny.
This is what I look at.
And CIA agents glow in the dark. That's also what I heard. It's funny that has become like a kind of a mainstream meme, like glow in the dark, that like feds glow in the dark after after a random crazy person in Medic made a video about it. Like that's insane to me.
That's what I'm looking at right.
All right, hold
there.
up. Is that porn?
No, that 5 screens.
God.
So that's why you guys see me looking up and looking here. So I wish I was looking at porn, but I'm not. I'm looking at COVID ending because people are in the streets of New York right now.
I just sent 2 of those memes to Ryan on Facebook.
Cobird 19, maybe. All right, let me check these out real quick. Mark sending memes. Mark usually does send me good memes. They're usually about commies.
Yeah, Mark's actually not bad to go back and forth with memes.
I'm telling you, it's the possible autism.
What the fuck? This is all right. The one Lethal's gonna like.
The first one sets up the premise, I think, pretty well though. So like this is like the joke conspiracy theory that birds aren't real and they're just government drones meant to
And then here's the next one. Wait, this is my communism one. Whoops, my bad, Mark. There you go. Birds, your privacy. Idiots that still think birds are real. This is actually. There you go.
It's really funny. I don't actually believe that is true for the record, but it's a funny premise, I think.
There you go. I use 2 screens, one for each breast. That Steven Seagal says. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we are gonna wrap it up here. We always end by talking about what we've been playing this week. Jeremy hasn't been playing anything, so
I did play a little Titanfall 2 the other day. So just
so did Mark.
So
did Mark. I spy on him. I have a bird by his house.
Send a bird over by me to see what I'm playing.
What have you been playing, Mark? Other than Titanfall 2?
I did play a bit of Titanfall 2 last night, as well as Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice and A Plague Tale: Innocence, but all of them were just to grab little bits of footage for my Ghost Runner review, which I just finished, so it should be going up sometime this week. I've also been playing, I think I mentioned before, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and a significant amount of Hades, which is really, really good. I really recommend Hades strongly. And this morning, because I had just finished the Ghost Runner video and wanted to relax a bit, I finally picked up Trails of Cold Steel again, because my collector's edition copy of Trails of Cold Steel 4 showed up, and I'm still 3 games behind. So I was like, oh, I really got to start moving through this series again. But it's really good. I finished Chapter 2, though, so I'm now in Chapter 3 of Cold Steel 1.
Nice. All right. Lethal, what about you?
Oh, not a whole lot this week. A little bit of Modern Warfare, a little bit of Avengers, and Ghost of Tsushima. That's about it. This whole week's just gone like that.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's gone fucking very slowly. It feels really fast, but it also seems like we've been talking about the same shit, which we have. It's taking as long as it is for Nevada to count their ballots. That's how long this week seems to me. But
yes, so I can't get to the stream without mentioning Titanfall 2, as Schnick says, and I will never ever not mention Titanfall 2 during a stream, because it is truly one of the greatest games ever made. Mark might convince me to try Apex Legends. I might try it. Just because
it's on Steam now too.
I fucking know, Mark. I fucking know. Okay.
Did I mention it's on Steam?
Watch Mojo Mark.
You can also use a controller for the Steam version of Apex Legends.
Hello, Geeks and Gamers. This is Watch Mojo Mark, and we're coming to you with another top 10 for Geeks and Gamers.
You know
it will happen.
I would quit.
It will happen. It will happen. I will have Mark make Watch Mojo top 10 videos for Geeks and Gamers so we can get millions of views.
All
So
right, let the negotiations begin because I'm not doing it for free.
all right, but yeah, other than that, Titanfall, and Titanfall with a side of Mario
Titanfall?
Kart. I was thinking about playing Titanfall this week. We'll see.
Have you heard of Titanfall?
Titanfall
2.
2. Okay. I mean, I've heard of Titanfall, but I don't know what this 2 is. What is that?
It's like Titanfall.
But
Titanfall.
but like a second Titanfall?
Yeah, there's more Titanfalling.
I'll check it out. What's the frame rate on it?
Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2 is always 60 FPS, and it's also because of dynamic resolution. That was doing it back then, going from 1080p to 720, I believe.
Fat Steven Seagal asked, will you guys do a Deceit stream? It's free on Steam. What is? I don't know what that is.
I've not played Deceit.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Mark's gonna look into it now and download it.
It's gonna find out that it's in my library already.
What have you been playing, Ryan?
Oh yeah, I guess it's my turn. Fucking
Andy,
nothing.
yeah.
I played Minecraft. I played Minecraft on election night, or maybe it was like right after election night, just because I just wanted to fucking turn my brain off and fucking play Minecraft. I call it Make Minecraft Great Again. I intend on making a bunch of signs in there that'll offend a bunch of people eventually. So maybe that's what I'll do.
I do know. I'm pretty sure Park Hoppin' is live right now.
They are going to be going live. I knew they were going live. I thought it was a noon, but they might have gone a little early. So we'll definitely send them over there.
Yeah, so you guys just head on over to Park Hoppin' and subscribe to them. I don't know if they have a link set. It doesn't look like they do.
They do. Hold on.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll send you guys over there. Say hello to Jay and Tugs, and make sure you support Park Hoppin'. We're closing in on 5,000 subs over there. And again, Geeks Gamers just continues to rock and roll. Everything from Twitch to this channel to Sports Wars, Park Hoppin', website, potential app in the future. We got a lot going on. So really do appreciate all of you. And yeah, that's it. So
there you go. I just put the Park Hoppin' stream in the chat. So there you go. Please do show them some love. They'll be going live in about 15 minutes or so. So thank you guys for being here. Again, we'll do it next week. Same time, same place. Maybe we'll actually know who the president is, but probably not.
Probably not.
Have a good one, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Titanfall 2.